So this is the topic I wanted to talk to you guys since the LA Auto Show. And it's been bothering me. I'm just trying to figure out how I can talk to you about this because I talked to one of the electric car social media influencer during the LA Auto Show. I'm not going to tell you who he is because I don't want to start a Twitter war, whatever the hell people do nowadays. And it's really not about him. It's really about me probably getting a better idea why we have these two camps in our electric car community. We're supposed to be sort of trying to fight the real enemy, right? The internal combustion engine. But instead, I feel like we're spending so much time throwing mud at each other, between the Tesla fans and everybody else, really. And I think it's being really fueled by quite a few social media influencers and bloggers out there. And I just couldn't really understand why, because all of them are, I think, relatively smart and educated. So I just couldn't understand why we're having this kind of a divide. But after talking to him during LA Auto Show, I think I got a better idea. Not that I like it, but I'll share it with you guys coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4 Electric.
Welcome to E4 Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. And there's no better video to stress this: unbiased, because I've positioned myself and I really pride myself in being unbiased, in between these two camps of being, Tesla owner and, just electric car, non-Tesla owner. I own both. I own a Tesla and I own a Chevy Volt. And, this channel is about electric car movement regardless of whichever brand or technology you choose, as long as it's not hydrogen fuel cell. But overall, you know what I mean. Um, and I've been very resentful to the fact that we have these two camps. I've been really calling out what we call Tesla fanboys, right? And by the way, there's a big difference between Tesla fanboys and Tesla fans. Tesla fans, I kind of, include myself still in that camp. A lot of people get offended. Why you calling me a Tesla fanboy? Well, you're a Tesla fan. There's no problem. Tesla fanboys are more people who really just kind of treat it as almost a cult, and treat Elon Musk as a supreme leader, and they can never do anything bad, anything. There's no room for improvement. Everything's perfect. And I think that's where we kind of run into problems. But obviously, this wouldn't be happening if we wouldn't have social media influencers who kind of egging everybody on. So I talked to one of them in private. Just like I said, I'm not going to tell you who he is, but he is a relatively big influencer. And as I was talking to him about Tesla, but also other brands, right? We're discussing other brands that have been on the market or coming on the market, and I realized, oh my God, he doesn't know much about the other technology in other brands. And he doesn't really understand that not everybody can afford $100,000 Tesla. As a matter of fact, if you look at most of the bloggers and influencers who are, Tesla fanboys, if you will, they all are relatively well off. They live in a universe that you can afford $100,000 a car, where the rest of the people, which now myself included, people can't do that. And by the way, they also don't have time to appreciate or completely geek out over technology. They just want a car that's good for them. Maybe they also want to help the environment and cut down their gas bills. But they want a car that they can afford, that they can perform, at least as good as their previous car. I think that's what most people want, and I think that's what I'm realizing he didn't really understand. As I was talking to him about these technologies in other companies, I realized he didn't understand a few things that I think would have maybe given him a better perspective. And I think this is why this is important, and I'll tell you in a second why it is. Of course, I want to mention that this channel and this show is sponsored by Avanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla, and they are Tesla fans. And there's a discount code in the description of this video for Tesla fans and Tesla fanboys and everybody else that you can grab and save yourselves a few bucks. All right, so if you're, if you're it's perfectly fine to be a huge Tesla fan, and I used to be a much, much bigger fan in the beginning. So but I think it's a dangerous for our movement to put everybody else down. And a lot of times I'm realizing again in my conversation with him that the reason he does it and the reason a lot of others influencers do that is because they don't really take time to research what other technologies are and what the needs are for everybody else. Everybody else doesn't not necessarily need an autopilot, right? Or to go, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. There are other needs that people have, and there are other different brands that are working on cars for them. I know Tesla is also trying to get there, but don't forget, even a $35,000 car is still up there for most people. People are looking for a car that can be about $25,000, and someone has to work on that as well. Um, Now, when those influencers compare Tesla to other brands, I always thought that they did their research. But now I'm realizing that at least he did not. But it also resonates with others that I watch when I watch their channels and videos, and I go, wait, did they not know about that other thing, or do they not know that not everybody is as rich as them or well off as them? Um, so it was pretty, and I wasn't going to correct him. I just let him talk. I just asked him more questions to kind of maybe understand better what his thought process was and a knowledge level. And I was disappointed to see it was pretty low. And that's why maybe he is so dismissive of all the non-Tesla brands and all of the owners and other people who, select other choices, but also the criticism. They don't take the criticism very well. They take it close to their hearts, and they believe that Elon Musk can do no wrong. But I again, I really wish we would have been a more accepting community. And you can still have a channel about Tesla, but you can do that in a way where you still respect the rest of the community of people who can maybe can't afford one, or just picked something else um, as their choice of a vehicle. So you know, in general, I have to make maybe another note is that I know quite a few YouTubers outside of this niche now that have been in this area in this space for a couple of years, and I have to say, sadly, in our community, like all electric car community, we are the least friendliest to each other as far as influencers are concerned. I pride myself in having the most other bloggers and influencers interviews that I've done with on my channel. You can see it in my library. I still feel like it's not enough. I wish I would have had better relationships with all of them. Um, and that's what it is in other niches. I have to say, I've noticed that in a lot of other YouTube and social media niches, everyone's pretty close. Everyone's trying to really help each other out because that's how YouTube works, by the way. You win if you get more views when there are other YouTubers and influencers in your niche. But here, unfortunately, I've noticed that we are not as close and friendly community of influencers. I hope that will change. Maybe new influencers will come to the scene, and we can maybe have a bit more friendlier community. But unfortunately, it is what it is right now. Let me know in the comment section. I'm kind of interested to know if you guys maybe have another perspective on this. As always, I'm looking forward to that. But other than that, these are my thoughts. I will see you guys next time. And remember to stay charged.